Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. As you can tell, we're doing swell. We've got our ravine there. We've got this kind of apogeic peak of roller coaster design. All in all, vis-a-vis all this, I'm pretty happy. However, as I'm looking down, there's a few things that are clearly wrong. Obviously, we've got all the sweet curves we wanted out of our track, but the terrain itself, it's just got a lack of anything really distinctively on theme. Now, we haven't done too much with the theming of this overall yet. You know, I've indicated that we're going to do some stuff with stone, some stuff with lava, but you might be looking at this green grass here and being like, oh, yeah, that's how you're doing it? Just a lot of green grass? It's like, no, not just green grass. We got some trapdoors. No, we're going to do more. We need to go get a bunch of cool terrain changers. I was thinking, hear me out on this, soul sand. Maybe a smattering of nether brick, maybe a bit of different concrete powders of various colors. We want this to look less like a landscape and further, even less like a blandscape. We want this to look like a planned scape, a place where we intentionally envisioned something and then actualized it. So, look, boom, that grass just makes me feel like I hurt my feet somehow. If we replace it with some cool soul sand, we have the lava pools in there, I think that's going to do quite a bit for us. So why don't we go ahead and get on that now. Timeskip. Look around. Look at all the soul sand and other concrete powders to be found. Just kidding. It turns out that my plan to go gather everything I needed for my landscaping has been derailed by the lack of gold to gild these carrots with. I need food for my expedition into the nether, and I realized, apparently with the new smelter furnace thing here, well wait, this is a normal furnace, and some iron ingots, and some smooth stone. But wait, maybe that can be so much more. If only we have the patience to walk down this exceptionally long hallway. I believe in us. We're doing it. Hey, and then we got that boost at the end, way to cross the finish line. We can create a blast furnace by creating an iron helmet, smooth stone, and a furnace all into one crafting grid. We set this up here, and then you might be like, well, Joe, what good is that? What good is that blast furnace for? Well, let me show you this. I could put this gold chest plate in here. Just wait for that to go across. And then what is it? A single gold nugget. Well, let me tell you, this is the best way to get a whole bunch of single gold nuggets to, make carrots with. And you might say, Joe, isn't that the sort of thing that you would, optimally want to use some sort of, hopper system for, or something like that? You had time to think this through. Why didn't you? That's a great question. I'm going to ask myself that now. Timeskip. Joe, why didn't you bring a hopper? Why not? As folks around the corner here, now the landscape is a little bit more foreboding. We want to give people a certain sense of warning, like, hey, this isn't casual, summer boating. This is going to be, in some countries, verboten. You are not allowed to make roller coasters that are this potentially deadly in a lot of places. Local laws are important, and we want to be respectful of them, but we're on Hermitcraft, not anywhere local, except for Hermitcraft. So let's go ahead and enjoy the possibilities of our self-governed local laws as far as we can. Somebody either blew me up earlier with a very stealthy TNT cannon, or a creeper somehow surprised me while I was working on this segment of track. I don't know. But anyway, this part's broken right now. We'll come back to that. Why don't we go ahead and take a quick ride, actually, and I'll show you guys the progress we have made. If we hop on here with our Ameriren Express cart, you'll see we can climb here. This part down here, I still need to replace that green. And we got a whole bunch of green over here. I want to put in some additional lava pools. So this segment is not particularly impressive yet, but that looks a lot better. And then as we climb here, you'll see that we've kind of got that whole segment replaced with terracotta. I'm using the brown terracotta as kind of a base layer, and then I'm going to accent it with magma blocks, lava, black terracotta, just in general. And this mine down here, I think we're going to keep with a traditional... Oh, that is a missing block, so we'll have to deal with that. Whoa, that's not helpful either. And it's about to get dark, and then a million mobs are going to spawn, and then we are going to also hit another creeper or friendly TNT cannon. So why don't we go ahead and escape up and over with my perfect hopping ability. Out of my bed, horse. My turn. Yay! So, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and experience this side of the track without broken rails getting in our way. As you can see, you would come up out of the ravine here, and then you'd hit this diagonal. So once again, once we get some lava pools in, some more soul sand for accents, magma blocks, yeah, I think that this whole thing is just going to feel a lot more atmospheric. And then you'll end up back here at the beginning, which currently doesn't exist. Yay! Sometimes progress involves getting blown up. I don't know that that's a generally extensible lesson to other places in life, but whatever, we're learning things about life on Hermitcraft at least. Let's just go ahead. So like I said, this area here, I've got this big brown terracotta area in general. And then what I was kind of thinking is I could almost start like applying the black terracotta in some sort of pattern. Like maybe I could spiral outward, kind of like just kind of swinging my pickaxe as I wander around here. And then in any of the places where the pickaxe hits, I'll just replace them with the darker color terracotta. And that'll just kind of give us a little bit of a naturalistic flow to it. Kind of comparable to kind of flicking a paintbrush around. Just kind of seeing how it goes. I wonder if there are other ways to apply kind of a paint splatter effect in Minecraft. Maybe if we threw flame or shot flaming arrows or something. This feels like it could have been done a little bit better though. This is very experimental stuff here. We are pushing the limits of Minecraft terraforming technology. Okay, so we're going to just kind of keep replacing these blocks as we go. And then let's go ahead and fly back up here. See if that looks any better now. It kind of looks like a screaming face. That's probably not bad. It's not what I was trying to do. But we do want people to be terrified in general by the premise or by the possibility of death on the coaster. And you know what? Also just kind of swinging through here and putting in some magma blocks as well might give us a little bit of some highlights that are going to be, you know, maybe not for children. Letting your children near the magma blocks may result in some burnt toesies, which, you know, not really optimal parenting. Gonna recommend against the burnt toesies. Okay, so we kind of got these, like, sweeping brush strokes almost here. If we come back up this way, let's look at it from up here. Yeah, see, that looks a little bit more foreboding now. I think that we need to do a few more kind of passes on this where we start in different places as we sweep across. So, like, we had started with the same center point for the first two attempts. And now we're going to start with a different center point here. And that's going to kind of give us these sense of, we don't want concentric circles. We want, like, kind of overlapping circles to some degree. So if we said, you know, like over here, we're going to just kind of sweep. There we go. Whoops. These things don't have to be perfect. I'm sure some of you guys are just like, Joe, this seems like a really personal and emotional way to terraform. It seems like there's a lot of emotion that might be, more negative here that you're trying to express. Like, this doesn't feel like, good times with Scar or happy, fun terraforming time. This feels like you're just trying to really put something out there on a deep level. And you know what? I gotta say, guys, it's been a few months now since the Hermitcraft prank war, but, some people, after something like that, they just kind of move on. And other people internalize it, and, it can really impact them day to day in ways that they're not necessarily even able to vocalize or comprehend. And so sometimes art can give us a way to kind of just express ourselves in a way that will help us realize that maybe my feet were already on fire. I just couldn't feel it. So here we go. Look at that. That feels vaguely naturalistic, but also it's clearly not something that... when Scar makes terrain and terraforms it, it usually feels like an extension of Minecraft's texture system. This does not. This is something else. And that's good, because we're all our own people, and we all have our scars. Timeskip. So after taking my emotions out on the terrain, I've decided to set things aflame. Here's what we're going to do. I put down a bunch of signs in the ground in this pit. It's just kind of a warning to others. Now you might say, Joe, why do you need so many warnings to others? What's going to be so bad about this pit? Well, we're going to fill it with lava. And, I don't know, maybe the smoke is going to keep coming out of there. Hey, it did. Is that a fluke, or is it going to keep coming out of there indefinitely? It looks like it's going to keep coming out of there indefinitely. So that means we can then round out the pit a little bit, kind of just make it feel a little bit less, kind of weird. Because right now it's kind of weird. Let's give it a little flow, There we go. Check that out. I'm sure somebody more talented than me came up with this as well, but I'm proud of myself for figuring it out. I'd seen somebody use lava over signs for a minecart trick, and I was like, I wonder if I could do the same thing, but with logs and campfires. And it turns out you can. So, there you go. And if somebody ever falls in there, they can go read those signs as they burn to death. The signs say danger, so, that's helpful. Okay. Now, is that smoke even going to be visible as you descend here? Yeah. I mean, we don't need to overdo it. That's pretty good for a little lava pool. We can just hop this way. Oh, and we can break our feet. And then we can hop back this way. Yeah, so as you descend down there, yeah, that's good. That's going to look great. And that's exactly how I intended to use that rocket. There is no remorse or regret on my end at this point. Yeah, okay, so as you swing up here, let's see how that looks. Up we go. Oh, there you go. There's some lava in that lava pool. I might even want to go back through and add little campfires to all of these lava pools. I mean, there's a good reason I haven't filled them with lava yet. It's because I didn't want to die all the time while I was working. But, yeah, this is a good start. So, let's go ahead and kind of just keep generally punching up the landscape. We're going to keep adding some lava magma blocks. We're going to keep adding... Hey, there's some squids for some ink to make the darker color terracotta. We got plenty to do. And plenty of time to do it in. Especially if we time skip. As you can tell, there's still a lot of area around here that we're going to have to heavily terraform. I would love it if y'all could leave as many YouTube comments about terraforming techniques and thoughts as you would like to. in the comment section of this video. I have started like figuring out where the waterfalls are going to be, / lava falls. I have started figuring out roughly the texture I want to go with here. I think I'm going to be able to reuse this trick some. But we do have a few places, like all around here, that we just have a lot of work to do. I'm thinking of adding some decorative structures as well. Not sure exactly what those will look like. Or maybe I should just leave this half of the island open for somebody else to open another ride. Although the entrance path doesn't really... It would be hard to get over here from the main Hermitland area. So I kind of feel like I should just use this. What do you guys think? Use this for another ride, sell it to another hermit. It's not really my land to sell. Or just expand this out more. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments section. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. You may have noticed that this episode was mid-roll ad-free. And in this case, that was thanks to $50 a month Patreon sponsor Zeus Awoken. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now read a poem of my own devising. Whoa, after I get done falling off of these things. I'm not done. Now I am. This poem is called Bargaining. The Tennessee State Lottery is a bargain for anyone who needs a daily reminder God doesn't favor them. A $2 lesson, a ward against exceptionalism, repeated routinely. God will never let you play to win. Work for it. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.